All right, everyone.
You hear it. You heard it.
Yes, it's ready. We're ready.
Let me give you a different one.
Give me another one. Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Metal Massacre, everybody. It's been a crazy fourth season, man. We've done some stuff we haven't thought about doing in a while. We have done some stuff we didn't even think about at all. It's been like we've got some pretty cool guests too. I will say that out of all the seasons, this has been the most probably diverse. So
yeah, we've been branching ourselves into a whole bunch of different areas where it comes to like we were talking about it before the show. It's like we've done almost like every. Well, I mean, like when you say that, there's a million more.
Yeah.
We forgot about technical death metal, but
right, or prog metal, yeah.
Yeah, but like we've done almost like every version, every genre, from like your modern stuff to your old school shit, from the heaviest to the lightest to grindcore to almost just
metal,
standard
metal,
rock and roll. Like,
yeah, we've done a little bit of everything, really, and I'm excited to really get. Excuse me.
Hell yeah.
Pre-show beer. I'm excited to get into the nitty gritty of like other genres and really get into other metal.
Oh yeah, man.
And we have so much to cover, man. It's insane to think about. We've come so far. Go follow us on Instagram at Metal Massacre Podcast. We just put up a graphic of a lot of the band's logos that we've interviewed, and it's insane, man.
Yeah, we're still missing a few and ones we haven't released yet, but like even just in that past year, like we've had that many different as you said, unique acts on there, but also it's just kind of funny to think of the repertoire we've already built. But,
yeah, it's for sure. And some of these people are like actually really fucking cool people. So like it's been fun to keep up with them. And like if I feel like we've made some really fun friends, you know, like it's not only are we interviewing creative people, but like we're making friends doing it. And like I don't know. It's just a fun thing to think about. It's been a really cool experience so far, 4 seasons in, and I'm excited to see what it's going to look like another 4 seasons in. Dude, and see where we're at.
We're going to find out. Like it's I mean, like we have some pretty cool shit in the can, and like we'll just put it this way. Today we grabbed something as well. Thank you to Deadlands for coming on the show.
Hell yeah. Kasey was really cool. Yeah. Thank you to being on. Hell yeah. Really fun episode, really fun interview. Honestly, one of the more relaxed ones we've gotten to do. And I think that's really, like we say, refreshing to get something relaxed and kind of in the moment. So that was really fun. Can't wait for you guys to fucking hear that at the end of this.
That'll be coming up. But, you know, man, for real, it's just been, so we're at this point, like a few episodes away from the end of this season. We've changed the format, added in a whole bunch of stuff we've been bringing up every week. But yeah. Bringing it up again because if you guys aren't checking in on off weeks, we've been having all sorts of extra content in there. Video gaming news, movie riffing, old blasts from the past, individual ideas, and there's also stuff, again, just to plug the Patreon, it's there, but it also has stuff that you don't see anywhere else, of course, and then, you know, but that's the tried and true. It's been there forever.
Behind the scenes stuff, even from our concerts, like we'll have BTS footage of us hanging out and being stupid weirdos at our shows, live videos of our sets, stupid stuff like that. We're gonna have some behind the scenes early access stuff for our music, which we still need to talk about with the guys, but we got a lot of cool things already, like interviews that you're not gonna find anywhere else, content you're not gonna find anywhere else. It's just a place, if you really want to support what this show does, patreon.com/Metal Massacre is the best way to do so. If not, right below us, metalmerch.net. Sorry, I just got that. I'm new to the
the lingo.
No, the URL. We just literally paid for it like fucking 6 months ago.
We're still doing
metalmerch.net is where you go get your shit. There's a lot of promo codes floating around on that website, but Planet Piss will get you free shipping on any order you get. A lot of cool stuff out there.
Yeah. Well, plugs aside before we get into the show, since we're hanging out, I was kind of bringing this up earlier, but I think it's a good thought experiment. It pertains to music. I was just playing Balatro in the Discord while we were getting warmed up. And if you guys don't know what Balatro is, that's fine. You should, but it's fine. It's a card game. I refrain to call it a poker simulator because it's just something that uses poker-like elements. But if you haven't heard of it by now, it's a lot of fun. It's one of those roguelite addicting games. But it got me thinking, where I'm like, fuck, this is so pertinent to like the style of games that I like to play, that I think I'm gonna have to add it to like maybe even the top 5 video games of mine of all time, just for me personally. And like the list of what I would make subjectively, which we've brought up on the show, we've done some lists and breakdowns before. I think subjectively, like you could, if I had to like, hey, you work for a company, like name your music outlet or video game outlet, like make the top 20 video games of all time. Oh, my headphones,
So
they flew. They flew. But if you made like the top 20 games of all time, you would have to like do some like real deep thinking and research about like, all right, just because I like something doesn't mean it's going to be like, just because I like some obscure RPG, that's not the best 20 games of all time. But for me personally, that's different. And I think you can do that with music quite a bit. So I guess, you know, I'm not putting you on the spot, but like Doom, for those of you that are watching, I have like I keep the books of Doom, which I don't think are technically canon. They're so old, they're yellow paged. I think this was like, fuck, this had to have been written in, I mean, wherever the addendum is, but like 1999. 1995 is when this book was written. It's because some people really got the license to do some fan fiction, which is a cool conversation on its own, but we'll let that lay there for now. I would put Doom in like my top 5 video game franchises of all time when you look at the body of work. Yeah. But I don't necessarily think that any one of the Doom games would be in like my top 5 video games of all time, like something I can't live without and could never do without. And so then it got me thinking about like, and then I brought up Battlefield for me, which is like Battlefield 3 or 4, depending on the day, how I feel. Just the time that I had and like the memories and nostalgia of playing it and the hours and hours and hours spent. I would not put Battlefield in like my top 5 or 10 franchises of all time, but I would put one individual game like in my favorite shit. So I guess what I'm asking, and this is a fun thought for all the listeners out there as well, something good to comment on, be like, what is like something where you like it for the body of work overall, but you don't necessarily think that it's like, well, this isn't my top 5 song of all time, this isn't my top 5 album of all time, but this band has to be in my top 5 like bands of all time, just from their fat body of work.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, you could put like a lot of people, that's why I like the Grateful Dead. You know, there's people that are
what's
dead.
One of yours before I give you one of mine, I guess.
So for bands, like an overall body of work where like I cannot deny that like they're really good, but a couple of their songs wouldn't be in the top. You know, I'm doing this kind of live as we go because I was more thinking about video games when I thought about this. So then I was thinking like body of work, like the Black Keys. I would put the Black Keys in like one of my top
really
5
funny
bands.
Because of mine.
But I don't know if any one of their songs is like one of my favorite songs I couldn't live without.
Yeah.
Well, what's one of yours then?
I think one of mine is Clutch.
See, and that crossed my mind. And actually, I would probably put. I don't know if I'm like that much of a fan that I would personally put them again in that same. But this is what this is fun for, because we're not making like a rank this because of like how it defines. No, we're just doing this because it's personal taste. Yeah. Clutch is close to me. They'd be top probably 10 to 15 bands of all time for me when it comes to their catalog. I mean, you'd have to put a lot of old heads. I mean, like they might have some Van Halen guys that are like they love those songs. But for me, I mean, like Van Halen's another one of those bands. Like they're so influential. They've done so much. The body of work, the amount of singles, like that's got to be one of my probably. Now we're expanding to like 25, but like that would be up there because I'm not the biggest Van Halen freak. But anytime one of their songs that I like, or in either era, whether it was Van Hagar or Van Halen, like that's got to be like probably like number 23 on my list because like just the body of work is so good. But I don't know, man. I think that's just something fun to think about because you could do that with movie franchises, you could do that with comic books, you could do that with. Obviously, video games.
Scream. If I could go for Scream, is one of those franchises where I'm like, the body of work is greater than one individual movie.
So I guess
Scream is really good as an individual movie, and that's saying something because it's one of the best horror movies of all time. Like, it's in the top 20. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you could expand on this then. So, like, what else would you put there if you're just talking about horror franchises? Because you have a million. I know, like, some of your favorite horror movies, and like ones of recent with like Terrifier, where you're like a fanatic about it, to be honest. Are there other ones that you would think that the body of work is greater, like the sum of the parts is greater than an individual, like kind of thing? Like
wait, so are you saying some of the parts are greater than the whole thing, or that the whole thing is greater than some of the parts?
I guess same question. So like,
no,
like
that's two different questions.
Well, I'm saying I'm going to ask you the same question.
Okay.
Things like Scream for you, where like, yeah, it's not my top 5 horror movies, but this franchise is so good.
Yeah, okay. So the movie itself isn't like the greatest movie in the world, but the franchise itself makes it really great.
Because like again, God of War would be that for me.
I would say Evil Dead. Evil Dead is a really big one for me. I have a fucking Evil Dead tattoo on my arm. And I have the puppet back there, all the seasons I play the game, which maybe 200 people in the world play. Like, I love Evil Dead so much. It's one of the defining horror genres of my life, or horror movies of my life that kind of defines the genre, I guess. But I think the original movie was good, but it wasn't like amazing. But the entire like, as you would say with the band, discography, you know, the whole kit Kat and caboodle is like way better than most horror movies.
Yeah. So I guess then, just to flip it on its head, because this is something that you could change day by day as you go. Because everybody has like their favorite movie.
Yeah.
They have their favorite 2 or 3 that like really don't move unless something monumental happens. But like, give me your top 5 horror movies then. How you feel today? Just don't overthink it. Just say it.
Feel today. Do I have to be in order? I hate orders.
I mean, kind of.
Okay.
Okay. Number 1 is number 1, and 2 through 5 are subjective. How about that?
Okay.
Because you should have a favorite in your heart. You have to make that choice. I feel like you're gonna be like dishonoring somebody if you say it wrong.
Okay. Number 5, just for today. This does not reflect how I feel overall.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Put me on the spot here, bro. I can't even think of 5 horror movies at the moment. I'm kind of drunk. I'll just say 5 horror movies that are on my mind right now. How about that?
Perfect.
Evil Dead Rise.
Okay.
It was a really good return to formula, but they changed it, and instead of being in the middle of nowhere, it was in an apartment in the middle of the city, and it changed a lot of things, which I thought was cool. It made a lot of stuff different. It made everything so like instead of 1 Necronomicon, there are 3 now in the history of Evil Dead. So it kind of like just changed stuff. It made it fun. Terrifier 3, because it's not Christmas yet, but I already know that this Christmas is going to be a staple in this household. We're gonna be watching that Christmas Eve and getting drunk on eggnog with vodka or some shit.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. That's 2. I need 3 more horror movies. Fuck. Strangers. I just thought of that one. Strangers with Aerosmith's daughter. What's Steven Tyler's daughter? Really good movie. And out of nowhere, weird ending. You didn't see it coming. And honestly, I'll say this is the opposite of what we're talking about. This movie is really good, but the franchise is shit.
Yeah, so
like they made so many of them that were just dumb.
Tyler, by the way.
There was one of them, it was called Pray at Night, I think. It was Strangers Pray at Night, and there's a scene where they're fighting in a pool, and every time he dunks them in the water, the sound design changes to sound like it's underwater, and it comes up, and then it's like you hear a song playing the whole time, and it sounds different. But other than that one point, all of the other movies have been shit, and they just rebooted it, and I'm like, fuck you. Strangers was not meant to be like fucking Paranormal Activity. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sometimes the subject material, as much as we want to remake things in movies or games, like it's just better. Sometimes they get way better.
Leave it alone.
They do homage.
Yeah, homages are fine, but like you're gonna reboot something after 5 sequels. Shut the fuck up.
You're making
the next one is probably Studio 666.
Nice.
I think that's a fun Scooby-Doo-esque gory horror movie with the Foo Fighters, and it's the last thing they ever released with their drummer. So like, I don't know. I think that's a pretty cool thing. You don't get that kind of stuff a lot. It's very unique. Good too. The Dream Widow album Dave made was really, really fucking good. So that's like a bonus right there. That's 4. What's the 5th one?
Now just think of a classic favorite, like something you couldn't live without. Like if you could never watch it again, you'd be bummed.
Fuck. Horror movie wise, that's
Yeah,
hard, man. There's a lot out there.
Oh shit, there's a million video games too.
Saw.
Yeah,
The original Saw.
That's
that's a mindfuck movie.
Yeah, even when you know what's happening, just watching the nuances of that. I made Kayla, my wife, watch it because she doesn't like horror movies. I was
but
like,
she loved it, right?
She was like, okay, this was like it was.
You know why? You know why, Dustin? Because Saw is the petty bachelorette of horror movies. It's like super into the soap opera drama of like this person spying on this person and crazy like telenuvo fucking camera angles that make it look fucking like a soap opera. But then it's like really jarring and crazy and gore and craziness. And it's like if torture porn was a telenova, that's what Saw would be. I feel like women are kind of like, okay, I like Saw because the story's juicy, you know, and men are like, I love the gore, you know, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I feel like Saw is one of those horror franchises that defines gender or like defies gender. Sorry,
genre.
Yeah, no gender. Like men and women, everybody likes it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I was like, those words were so close. I was like, do you mean?
No, I didn't mean genre. I meant defies gender. Like everybody loved Saw. Everybody was at one point in their life watched a Saw movie and it changed them in a way. Just like Hostel. You know, it's kind of that it's that next level experience. So
what was that one fucking movie? God damn it. I'm thinking of like this completely off topic. Smoking Aces. That's that 2006 like
Ryan Reynolds movie. Yeah,
a bunch of hitmen like running around and like
it's an amazing movie.
Pretty violent, pretty brutal. Jeremy Piven's in it. Ray Liotta.
Jeremy Piven, man, God, what an actor! That guy's great.
I think Smoking Aces has to be in like one of my. I mean, granted, I'd have to go watch it now again today and see how cheesy that 2006 shit is, but like. I think that was just as like I remember that was like one of like the most hardcore movies at that time where I was like that Casino and other stuff because like horror and gore are like that's the point. But when you add like
visceral,
but like when you add like it's not supposed to be a horror, so that's why like Casino, like I was saying, like that movie's fucking brutal because they beat a guy to death with a baseball bat until he's just barely alive to make sure he's alive and then bury him alive. Like that's fucked up. And like it's not like, oh no, the killer got him. It's like, no, there was nuance, there's politics, there's money changing hands, there's all this shit that like make it so human. That's why like Breaking Bad was really brutal as well, because like people just get beat to death and like die. It's like why a lot of like TV like that really hits so hard. I think that certain things, when it's not couched with the idea that it is horror, that's why that list that you just gave us is pretty goddamn good, because like some of it, like Terrifier, is brutal to be brutal. Yeah. But, like it still does a lot of those other movies as well. Like they do it in a way that's like adding story layers. So it kind of takes you out of the fact that not just because you like a character and you're sad they die, it's more like that's what bothers me more with like when it comes to like gore or that kind of stuff. If you want to, like, I can watch pretty much anything. I'm not scared of shit, but like without being just like a tough guy about it, like I can separate. Like this is a movie, this is a whatever. Horror video games are some of my favorite to play because of that. But like when it comes to like just actual like brutal, like Scarface, the original is like kind of hard to watch sometimes because of like the blood, the screaming, the stuff like that. And it's not a serial killer. This is just like, oh no, this shit like happened to people. And like there's a guy cutting this person in half with a chainsaw because he didn't pay the mob money because they lost the fucking bag. And like, this is what they're not even doing it to that person because they fucked up. They're doing it to a person that doesn't want it to happen to their brother because you fucked up. Right. So you must watch this. And like, that person's paying the ultimate price in pain.
Pretty metal, man.
Like, that's the kind of shit that's what gets me generally. Yeah. That's why Hannibal is always so effective to me as well, because yes, he's a serial killer, but he's more
don't like the psychological shit. Yeah.
It's if you can convince me that this could be a real scenario, or it's like, just like straight mob justice, that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, oh man, I don't like that. That's gnarly. Like, that's the kind of shit that gets. I can watch horror movies and separate it, but yeah, no, I think that's a good list, man. Like I think that was an interesting way to couch a conversation, which is like,
for sure,
there's stuff that you like because the body of work, and there's stuff that you like because that one thing was Like I think that System of a Down is one of my favorite bands from the body of work as well. And like some of their songs are my favorite songs still to this day. They have such bangers. But like if I really just had to have like if I was on a stranded island with a Walkman and I got like 10 songs on a CD and that's it, I'd have a harder
Hair
time.
metal.
Probably. Lots of skid row and whatever rum I can make out of a coconut.
Yeah.
Likely.
I'm gonna fucking ferment it and make it into rum. Okay, I got a couple things to end the episode or this segment on, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so my wife works at a mall or next to a mall, sorry.
Sure.
At a burger joint, and it's really good burgers. They're some of the best burgers in town. And she went to the mall that's next to it the other day until I could pick her up from work. And she went to the ladies' restroom and she found a card in the ladies' restroom. The card says, "Send me pics of your poop," then gives a phone number and says, "I'm Matt." And then on the other side, here, there you go. Send me pictures of your poop.
There's the phone number. I mean, I'm not going to read it out. If you're on YouTube,
no, we're going to put it on screen.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to read it. This is incentivizing you all to come to YouTube.
If you're watching the YouTube, you can tell it just says, "I'm Matt. Send me pictures of your poop. I want to see it." And then on the back, it says, "Come on, I want to see it."
Let me see it.
Let me see it. Yeah. So send Matt pictures of your poop, I guess. We're really creeped out because it's like, did this guy go into the ladies' bathroom in the mall, or did he have a woman go in there? And well, Dustin, I have some news for you since this happened the other day. Josh, our friend, sent him pictures of his poop. I sent him this card, and he literally, when I texted it to him, I texted him both sides of the card, my wife holding it, and Josh texts me back, and he goes, "How ironic, I'm literally pooping right now." And then the next text just said, "Sent." And I was like, what the fuck?
We need. So,
if you feel like trolling some weirdo that has a perversion with poop, text this number on screen and send him the pictures of your biggest poop. It's disgusting.
This is the best social experiment that we've done so far.
We'll see how many people do that, man. We'll see how many people. And then the last thing I want to do, we've been binging Chinese food for the last 2 days, and I wanted to have a fortune for the show.
So we're opening a fortune cookie. I watched them crack it.
Yeah, I cracked this fortune cookie. So if you're listening or you're watching, this is now. Here are your lucky numbers, by the way: 10, 19, 22, 28, 38, and 48.
Go hit
and your fortune, if you're listening to this, all things are difficult before they are easy. So if you're going through some shit, there is a silver lining, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, I just wanted to do those 2 stupid things for this show. We like to do dumb stuff.
It's very sound of you.
Thank you for listening to the Metal Massacre. Thank you for being a part of the Instagram, the TikTok, and even the Patreon. If you want to join the Discord, discord.gg/Metal Massacre is how you get in there, and support us on Patreon if you want some behind the scenes shit. Dustin, you got anything else for the people before we get out of here?
Man, not really. It was fun to talk to Kasey. Sorry about the top of the show if you hear this, because this is what we do. And send some pictures of your shit over to Matt. He wants it. He'd like to see it. I'd like to see if we can't like crash this man's phone or something. I don't think that's how that works, but make him regret this.
Yeah.
And
I want the worst shits.
Or whoever it is that did this, make them regret it. And at the end of the day, thanks for, like you said, thanks for listening to the show. Thanks for putting up with our shenanigans. We got about 3, 8, 9, and 10 left after this or so. So we got a few more episodes, or 2 left. I don't even know, because we do these in advance. So
we got 2 left on this season.
Thank you. We got 2 shows left on this season. They're both, I'll just crack the ice now. They're both up and comers. If you want to look at it that way, there are people that you probably haven't heard of. But if you have, A, big props, and B, it's because we fucking believe in them, and they come across our wire, and we really like how we've been, like we said at the very top of the show, like melding everything together and like making all these different genres. They're 2 wildly different genres, one European and one American. One's right down the road, and we'll let you catch those when we get to those in the next couple of weeks. We'll have tops to show for them as well. But you guys have been awesome. We got great responses here. Please, again, check out the Instagram. We put up a giant infographic, like you said, of all the bands we talked to, and if you've missed any of those episodes, it's a great spot to be like, oh shit, I didn't know I talked to them. So
yeah, it kind of illustrates everything we've gotten to do over the last year. So, fuck yeah.
I'm gonna go play my 5th favorite game of all time, Balatro, I believe.
Okay. I was gonna see if you want to play some Helldivers.
That might be the 4th top game of all time. Fuck, dude, we're gonna see, but that time will tell. I'm gonna take more time. Well, maybe I'll come back next week with my top 5 games and how they've moved, and then that's probably a good game pod topic. I don't know. We'll do it another time. Anyways, love you guys. Fuck you all. We're having a great time. Enjoy Deadlands. At it.
We have a special guest with us today. Kasey from Deadlands is here to hang out. We're going to talk a little bit. It's been kind of a journey discovering you guys and getting into your shit. I'm not going to lie.
Dude, thank you.
Loop. I'm getting hit with rights and lefts, and I don't really know what to expect when I hit next on your guys' stuff, and I kind of like that. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, dude, I love that. That's exactly what we're going for too, especially being that this EP is supposed to be very experimental. That's exactly what we're going for. So I'm glad you said that.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're I was kind of zooming through it this morning because every time we do interviews, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get into it before we do this, but the morning of, I like to just binge, and that's how I wake up before we do interviews. And I think Dusty, you might do that too, but.
That's why I schedule them in the morning for us, so we can get up and just start the day, man.
It's nice. Yeah. It's kind of like a good way to start the day and prep for something, but at the same time, it gets you in the the mindset of the person you're talking to. And let me just say, you seem very fucking angry, and I am a fan of it.
Dude, I am, but thank you. I mean, listen, I am 22 years old, bro. We have a lot to face in the world at my age. So I feel like the anger comes from a pretty significant place,
It's been a while since we were 22. What do you feel like the average 22-year-old is angry about today?
Oh, man. I mean, the economy.
No
matter what, you can't buy a house. It doesn't matter who's in charge. We're all just screwed. But it's fine. True. We just have to work twice as hard. It's okay.
So you're based out of New York. Are you still there now?
Yes, I am. But not for long, I don't think. I mean,
then I'll just say, don't stake your claim on a house there now. You're good.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm looking down south. I'm looking at Texas. Texas seems pretty cool.
Nice.
Austin, Texas. I don't know.
Austin's wild. I think that'd be a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, man. We're eyeballing it, so we'll see what happens.
Oh hell yeah! As a band, you guys might all move down there.
I feel like CJ would probably move to Florida before Texas because he's got a bunch of family down there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if he'd be opposed. I haven't brought it up to him, but
that'd be rad.
Thoughts spinning around the brain. Yeah, no, there's plenty to be pissed off about. And again, it was economy, sure. Money, yes, it all sucks. And but just to ask a couple basic questions. I mean, as we got in our PR press, a lot of these 7 is kind of it's not on the nose, because if you didn't know, then you would have to dig. You kind of dig into those 7 deadly sins kind of thing is what it seems like here. And a lot of the tracks, they do this balancing act, I'd like to say, between very soft and very forgiving, but then also juxtaposition against really heavy shit the whole time. And so your sound is something that I think, to put this nicely, is something that it's fitting right in that vein, especially with the age that you're trying to demographic to, where you're still doing something very unique. You're still doing something that's very prominent, and it sounds uniquely like you guys, which I'm always a fan of, someone that can iterate on something that's already there and then take it and build with it. But you obviously have a lot to say. And so I've been really enjoying listening to, by the way, if you guys went out there, it's already, by the time we drop this, it'll be out. So please go run up 7. It's very easy to find. 7 tracks. It's about, each song looks like 3.5, 4 minutes somewhere in each cases. So there's a lot to do there. When you were writing all of this, you found a theme and you found an experience you're trying to craft. But I guess if you could take us a little bit more into how you wanted to build this album, because you're the voice of it.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, Of course, you said it. Seven tracks, seven sins. So we wanted to make sure that each track was its own sin. And we wanted them all to hit differently because each sin is different. And sometimes, like, it was a little bit difficult in the writing process to differentiate because I feel like, greed and gluttony have very similar, it's I want what you don't have, or I want it all. Like, it's pretty similar in messaging. So to tackle it with the lyrics was definitely like a bit of a challenge. But I think, going that we were just like, we wanted to make them all different. We wanted to make them all experimental. We were working with so many different producers on this album, on this EP. Worked with Eli Strobeck, also known as Boy What, the Plankton guy, we with Justin DeBliek, who does a lot of Motionless in White. He's ex-Iceland Kills. We worked with Anthony Lapardo at Westfall. We worked with Andrew Wade. Like, we really just tried to branch out on this EP and really try to hone in and find our sound a little bit more. And I still feel like there is some sound to be had and to be found, but we're just taking it day by day, and like whatever we feel like is the vibe for the song, it fits the messaging, like that's what we're gonna go for. So yeah,
I dig that. Absolutely. I think, like I said, working with a bunch of different producers is something that I feel like a lot of people are afraid to do. Maybe afraid's too strong of a word, but like it's almost like it's like a doctor. You should get a second opinion. Just because someone tells you you're okay doesn't mean you are, or vice versa. So I think it's very smart of you all, however it was produced, to try and bounce yourself between a bunch of those. It's something you don't really see a lot of, especially when people are working with a label. Then they're obviously usually forced down like one direct path, like, hey, this is the person, this is what we're doing. But I should know this. Or so you guys are on Spine Farm? Cool.
Yes.
So they seem, honestly, we've talked to a few people through Spine Farm. They seem pretty laissez-faire. Like, you guys you have control of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Oh yeah, very accurate. They are very like, you guys are the creatives, you guys are the ones that have the music. We're just here to say yes or no. That's it. And
That's cool.
And literally everything that we've brought to them has not been a no. They have loved everything that we brought to them. So we're very happy about that for sure.
Did you ever bring something to them and you were kind of like, oh, we'll see, and then you were like, oh my god, like we're getting the yeses, you know what I mean? Because like as a creative, like, I don't know how you feel about it, but when I'm creating something, I generally don't want to show it off until it's like where I want to be. And as a creative as well, I don't know if I'm sure you can relate to this. It's like you never feel like it's good enough.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's the imposter syndrome. It's the perfectionist syndrome. Like, I totally get it. And dude, yeah, I mean, listen, when we delivered 7, like the complete version, we had I believe it's track number 6, Wither. And not that, I knew Spine Farm had known that we were going to do some heavy stuff, but I didn't know like how heavy they would allow us to go. So when we gave it to them, we were like, here you go. Like, we hope you like it. We don't know what you're going to pick for the next single. And then, they absolutely loved Limbo. And they even loved Wither, which I was so surprised about.
Why?
Because I thought, I don't know, because it's just so different and so heavy. And like, usually labels would want to like push the radio play stuff. And instead, like, by the time this interview comes out, 7 will already be out. So they actually want to push Wither. Like, they were, instead of focusing on either Die in Paradise or More, which I feel like are definitely more commercial based, like, they were like, no, dude, like, let's go with Wither. And I'm going to tell you what, we just filmed the music video. It's going to be like a visualizer kind of thing, not like a full-fledged music video. Last night until like 1 a.m. And oh my God, it's like absolutely disgusting. Like, it's a really gnarly video. And I really wonder how they're going to digest it, but I feel like they're going to be really happy.
I can tell that I think they see the value in how heavy you guys can get, to be honest. Like, again, you have features on here that you're touring with bands that might be like kind of adjacent or lighter or however you want to put those. But, something that we've found as well as just talking with people, and I think just being fans of music, is you can really build a cool live stage show with the exact same type of band like 4 or 5 times if it depends on exactly what the audience wants. But I think that the name of the game, to say nowadays, makes it sound like no one's ever thought of it, but I'd say the name of the game now is being able to kind of juxtaposition yourself along a lot of genres and to be able to show off that we have this, we have that, we can do this, we can do that. So honestly, because we did get a little pre-advance from the PR company, so I mean, like it's something that Wither is definitely one of the heaviest things you have out there, I will say. So like, but the fact that they want to push themselves towards that direction and pop that as a single, I think that they just see the value in. This is a great direction for where you want to go. And we can still hit the college radio stations with Limbo and things like that, because that still obviously is not, like he said at the very top, you got some shit to say. So it's like,
exactly.
It sounds to me like they're valuing, like I said, to put it the same way, is they're valuing how heavy you can get with these. And I think that'll push you into a market where you guys are touring. It looks like you're going all over the US, but hey, Europe loves the heavier, the fucking better to them as far as that's concerned. So if you guys can make your way over there, I think they're looking big picture is what I'm saying.
Oh, no, dude, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, also they have a great UK team, Europe team over there. And so I think they definitely know what they're doing, and they are probably planting the seed for, overseas stuff. And we're just manifesting it. We're like, let's just have any band take us out. We're ready. Like, let's go, man. Yeah. So I'm just excited. I think you're right. I think they're really pushing it, and they definitely see the value of heaviness, because also like heavy is becoming almost mainstream. I feel like is that like a bad thing to say? I don't know, but
no.
Knocked Loose on Jimmy Kimmel was insane.
Right.
Poppy also on Jimmy Kimmel is also insane. Like, I can't even believe Sleep Token selling out their entire arena tour and signing to RCA Records is literally unheard of. So the fact that we have all this going on, I think they're definitely walking the right footsteps for sure.
Yeah, and it's mentioning all those names, it just kind of like makes you think about like how heavy is changing. Like what heavy means to this newer generation isn't necessarily what it meant to someone in the 90s or even the early 2000s. Like, and those things wouldn't have meant anything to each other anyway, because it's this constant evolving like tidal wave that just keeps like picking things up and like changing, because it's like everything it picks up becomes a part of it. I don't know, maybe that's too weird, but
no, I totally get it. You're so right.
But like, it's fun to see like bands like Sleep Token and like other acts that like mix in these genres in a way where you can walk out of that concert and be like, no, that was heavy as fuck, but it could hit other notes and other emotions and other like things that people want to hear, and I like that. And honestly, as a middle-aged 30-year-old bearded white dude that plays metal, I was kind of like threatened by it at first. I was like, damn, this is insane. I don't know if I like this. Like, this is kind of, I don't like, it was so foreign to me, you know what I mean? But as I keep kind of like diving into stuff like that, it's like become more exciting. I feel like I'm finding heavy music again for the first time, but it's like, it wasn't written specifically for me, but I can still vibe with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure, dude. And I'll say this, like, I think what everybody is doing now is breathing a new life into metal, because you can have the same 0-1-0 riffs like all day long. I don't even know what you call those. I don't play guitar, so like,
just chugs.
Yeah, exactly. You could literally have the same breakdowns 10 times over, but like the difference is the vocals, the difference is the composition. Like,
yes,
I mean, you cannot argue that Bring Me the Horizon, Sleep Token, Spirit Box, Motionless in White, they're not like the biggest bands in the scene right now that are heavy bands. But why are they so big? Because they're being so different, and because they're taking from other genres. Falling in Reverse is like the epitome of this. I mean, whether you like Ronnie or not, like, undeniably so, he's an incredible musician, and he knows how to put rap, he knows how to do rock, he knows how to do metal, he knows how to do R&B. Like, he also, I just filmed a video with my boyfriend's brother yesterday, and it was classical musician reacts to symphonic metal. Ooh. And I asked people, I was like, hey guys, like, give me your bands, give me your song recommendations, and somebody said I'm Not a Vampire by Falling in Reverse. And I was like, oh my God, actually, like, I should show this to him, even though it's not technically symphonic metal at all. So I show it to him. Falling in Reverse, #1 on his list, dude. I was like, there's no way. That's so crazy. But it just goes to show that, like, if you're experimenting and you're being different and you're going against the grain and the wave and you are meshing these genres together, like, you're tapping into an audience that nobody has tapped into before at all.
I think you guys are on the mark with that. Like, it's something that modern metalcore, if you want to put it that way, has done that so well, where I think it's very smart, because again, not to just harp on age, but I mean, like I said, we're about 10 years older than you, about exactly. I'm 32. So like me growing up, to pull it back, was something that was like, I guess I do remember like Slipknot won a Grammy, and then they went on, I think like at the very beginning of, like, it might have been, I don't think it was Kimmel couldn't have been around then, but regardless, one of the late night talk shows, and everyone was just like,
yeah,
turn this off.
Yeah.
And they didn't like it. Whereas nowadays, like you said, you're seeing all these bands being able to tap into the mainstream. And, you know, I think that one of the biggest, like, dead to right things that's important for it is the fact that there is so much area for clean, like just clean singing and big actual musicianship, where metal will always be in this counterculture thing, even though there's some of the finest musicians around that play metal, because it's one of the closest things, honestly, that does come close to symphonic writing, is that it's always got to have this attitude. It's always got to have this growl and like clean. There are, like, again, when we grew up in like our high school era, it was like, if I heard one clean vocal, I was like, this is a pussy shit. I don't want to hear this stuff. That, like, to be honest, there's a bunch of like the Suicide Silence and like Whitechapel heads that were like, I don't want to hear that. But now,
dude, I can't believe you're an elitist.
You know, I'm such a gatekeeper, bro.
Can you blame him? We went to high school in the Midwest, okay?
Oh, okay, yeah, I get
No,
it.
but it was just like, if I'm gonna go skate with my friends, I don't want to hear this shit, dude. But like now,
Clean vocals to us was like Lemmy, and like that. And that's not even clean. You know what I mean?
Oh
like,
my god!
But no, honestly, I get what you're saying. I was kind of like I dipped my toe into that when I was younger, like your Of Mice and Men's, Of Machines, even Under Oath, stuff like that. And that's what kind of got me into like post-hardcore when I was younger. But I feel like post-hardcore, as I grew up, didn't really do much. And then I feel like metalheads just like dug up the corpse of post-hardcore and were like, we're gonna take all the things we like of it and make all this new stuff with the ingredients of like the post-hardcore, like singing to screaming to having that timing to one of them's inflecting upon the other. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's a lot more of that now than I feel like there was even when post-hardcore was a thing.
Yeah.
And it's just it's evolved. It's become something else. Like now, I don't know. It's like this giant crazy amoeba of sound that I never saw coming. Like,
you guys do it well.
Yeah, it's
Thank
really
you.
fun.
Thank you
I
so
love
much.
I love the diversity, and honestly, I think my favorite right now is House of Cards. There was one I had it on. I was blaring it through the house and walking around and doing stuff. And I don't remember what the song was, but I remember thinking, this is very Slipknot sounding. And then you guys went into the clean part, and I almost kind of stopped what I was doing. I was like, how did they do that? Like, I was like, that's insane. I don't know any other band that can do that. So hats off for that. That was really cool.
Dude, thank you so much. Like, really, that means the world. I mean, the fact that you're literally saying that we sound like Slipknot, even in the slightest, is like, oh my god. Like,
yeah, I was like, what the hell? This sounds like it could be like a new Slipknot riffy song, and then you went straight into something clean and like kind of more like ethereal sounding, and I was like, okay, what are you doing right now? This is insane. Like, I had to go back and look. Like, and also, I always say this: a good mark of a good band is when you're listening to it and it's the same song, but you feel like it already went to a new song. I really, really like that feeling where you have to go back and kind of look and you're like, oh my God, this is the same fucking song. Like, that means you guys have the ability to tap all those emotions in 3 or 4 minutes and like bring it full circle to where it's not just, it's like a whole complete thing. You know what I mean? Like,
hell yeah, dude.
So many times with music, I feel like we get left on cliffhangers or, everything's a small sentence, but it's just like one sentence, you know? And I feel like you do a really good job as a lyricist as well of like creating a narrative that it kind of like comes full circle throughout the whole song.
Thank you.
I think that's really rare as a lyricist. I write lyrics too, so like I kind of play with like different song structures, you know, and like how can I make this unique to where it's not just verse, chorus, bridge, you know? And I like to see I like to see the stuff you're doing evolve. So I'm really excited to see 7 and like just see what you're playing with now, you know?
Dude, thank you so much. And I mean, like, listen, we've worked really hard on this, and it seems like people are really digesting it, like yourselves, obviously. Like, and it's just thank you. I'm glad that you guys are appreciating it. It makes me so happy.
Yeah,
Well, hey, we're glad you fucking made it. This is gonna be fucking cool.
It'd be sick, dude. So I mean, I guess for people, especially because you are younger, and like our audience ranges everywhere. We have people everywhere, but also lots of different age ranges because that's what metal's doing right now. But for people that like might not be aware of you, because some of our old farts that are on TikTok, basically, you have a huge following on TikTok. You have a giant base of fans that you've been able to gather from people like Nita Strauss and other things like that. Where were your beginnings with music? We usually don't go all the way back to like kindergarten with people, but I do kind of want to know, how did you at this level already at the age of 22, where did you kind of start getting into music? Did you find it when you were like, is it band in high school? Like, how did you find yourself wanting to create heavy music and getting yourself on this path?
Yeah, so it's funny you say kindergarten. For me, it kind of was kindergarten, but when I was like 3 or 4, my dad used to take me on work trips with him. Like, I would just go, and he was a car adjuster, so we'd like drive around the city. He'd like take pictures of cars. I'd wait in the car, whatever. And so he would play like Marilyn Manson, Seether, Godsmack, like all of them. And I would just listen to them all the time. I literally remember listening to The Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson and like going over a bridge, and I was like, oh my God, like the vocals in the background sound like we're going over a bridge. And my dad was like, what does that mean? I was like, I don't know. I just like it. But also my brother was into rock music, but we also had Guitar Hero. Like, I think I was in 1st grade when my parents got us a Wii. And so we would play Guitar Hero. We had the guitar, we had the microphone, and I used to stick the microphone through like the lift tiles in my ceiling in my basement.
Nice.
And I used to play the guitar and sing at the same time. I would like have to go like under the microphone though. So I would just be like, da da da. It was ridiculous. I tried to be smart. I don't know if it was that smart, but there was dust all in the microphone after that, but it's okay. But then like for probably, I don't know, a period of like 7 to 8 years, I think, I just hated all metal unless it was like nostalgic. My brother was playing guitar, but he was only playing like Beatles, Van Halen at this time. And so he and his band played at a battle of the bands. I like vividly remember seeing that this drummer, this band is like super heavy and crazy. And I was just like, what is this? This is total garbage. This sucks. Like, I didn't get it because at that time I was literally just listening to like, pop, R&B, like anything that would play on like my local pop radio station, and then whatever was like nostalgic, like pepper in a little Paramore, pepper in a little Avril Lavigne, maybe a tiny bit of Marilyn Manson. But throughout that whole portion of my life, I just hated it for a minute. And then, my brother started going to the gym. He started working out more. He started getting progressively heavier in his taste. He started showing me like Asking Alexandria, Attila. He was like forcing me to listen to his guitar literally all night because he was just shredding the entire night. And I was like, shut up, I don't want to hear it. Try to go to bed. Like literally just being a jerk. But also I started playing video games myself, and I got into Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And as soon as I played zombies and I was getting real into zombies, Avenged Sevenfold was in the game.
The pipeline, I see.
Exactly. So I had it hit me from my brother. I had it hit me from my parents. I had it hit me from video games now. And then I heard 115, and then it was like, I was just down in the rabbit hole. And I had a couple friends who were into like Crown the Empire. And it is history from there.
No, that's really cool. Like, again, I just always fascinated as to it's an old story on this podcast, but the band we play in actually together, my dad's the guitar player. And so it was something that like, it was just inundated every night. Like they practiced at my house when I was a young kid in the early thousands as well. And so it was just like, if I wanted to escape, I started getting into hip hop and R&B and rap myself, which I'm still a huge hip hop head. I mean, I got the Method Man poster and shit behind me and all that stuff. Like most of my day is spent listening to that. It's because specifically as well, you can call it rebellion, but I was just like, I'm so sick of this fucking guitar, blah, blah. And so I was just like, find anything else. And so I was like, Air Force Ones. I'm gonna listen to Nelly every day now. But
See,
after a while, it kind of just takes you back over. You were gonna say
it's interesting that you guys have that experience because I did not grow up around that, and so that, I feel like that was my escape from like Jimmy Buffett and like Aerosmith and Brooks and Dunn. I was just like, dear God, I need something else, and so I found like heavy metal, and I think the first ones for me were like Sabbath and Maiden and stuff like that, and
sure.
Skateboarding to that felt like you were a tough guy kind of shit. You know, you're like sixth grade. Like I don't know. This was when the iPod, it was like the iPod Shuffle, the original iPod Shuffle. That's essentially just a flash drive came out.
Shit.
We all used to skate with our corded earbuds in and have them just hanging out.
Oh my
like,
God.
It was crazy, man. Like
in my Jinkos.
Yeah, I totally think you should do a music video where the microphone is like this.
Oh yes, no, 100%.
As like a tribute. I think that'd be super cool. And like, I don't know.
I'll give you credit.
No, don't do that. Don't do that at all. Some weirdo told me to do this, and I thought it was a good idea.
No, I think we should totally do it. I mean, listen, they do it cool ways now. You know, they have it hanging from the ceiling, and it's like the old-fashioned mic where you can just be like, you know.
Yeah, like when people are boxing and they have the guy in the middle and he gets the mic come down.
Ladies
like,
and gentlemen,
don't kick each other in the nuts and don't cuss and no spitting and whatever.
No.
There you go. This is all your idea, bro.
And now you have to do that. And now you know, it's funny is I'm kind of thinking of the Seether music video where he does that and all. You ever seen that music video?
No, which one?
It's for the song called Truth or The Truth. But essentially he's like the guy in the middle of the fight ring, and it's different like holiday mascots fighting each other.
It's a funny concept.
It's a really good music video.
One.
Though. But
I love that.
Kind of weirdly full circle that it's Seether because you mentioned that earlier. But they're one of my favorites, to be honest. Dustin always harkens back to this one time. I was like, I was dating a girl, and he went to go do sand volleyball, and I was like, I'll come get drunk and watch. I'm bored.
That's fair.
She's texting me all this just screwed up stuff. And I'm like, man, I am very upset right now. And I'm like super wasted, and he's getting back in his car, and I just turn to him and go, play some fucking Seether.
I said, bet, bro.
Like, what? You don't want to hear some Seether right now.
We're just going to crank it, dude. Crank it.
Yeah, that kind of music, that's like what we grew up on, like through like middle school and high school. So like that's for sure our shit.
Dude, that's fantastic. I love that. I love it.
Well,
I used to play it on the Guitar Hero on my DS.
Yes.
Like I had the little pick and everything, and
that's awesome.
Like, I was playing Remedy, and I was just like singing to myself. Like, no, this kind of drive. Like I couldn't
Which
even.
Guitar Hero is that? I want to play that.
Oh my God!
It was the one I was on Wii.
No, the DS. There was
shit.
either one. I think it was either Guitar Hero on Tour or Guitar Hero Decades. I think it was Decades.
I like was it Legends of Rock or whatever? That one's pretty good. I think that's the one
3?
that I think it was 2 or 3. I don't remember.
You're right.
I
did a little producing job here. Guitar Hero on Tour Decades for the DS Remedy.
Let's go.
Yeah, you know your shit.
They had City of Evil and like Burn It Down on a couple of them from Avenged Sevenfold. That was cool.
Oh my God, I loved that.
That was such an ego boost. Like, remember playing that as a kid, and you're like, "I'm shredding."
Yeah,
everyone's like, "How are they doing that?" And you're just like,
I don't know.
Dude.
What did you think of this South Park episode where Randy Marsh whips out the real guitar and starts playing, and all the kids are like, "This is fucking lame."
Oh my God, bro.
That's right.
And you know what's so crazy? I would only be able to play medium like when I was younger. So I just now started playing expert. I'm still absolutely not as good as CJ. Dude, CJ is absolutely like insane at Guitar Hero, unbelievably so. He can like look away from the screen and just be like, "What's up, man?" Like just have like a complete normal conversation with you. He's put it behind his back. He's like done it backwards, like not even looking at the screen. We have
He's like cooking food and doing laundry. Just
yeah, dude, like literally just shredding. I'm like, okay, bro, like don't show off. Like I get it.
Some people just got that shit, the hand-eye stuff, man.
How does he do that? He's sleeping in the other room.
Exactly. But I mean, he's grown up on Guitar Hero, and that's how he got into guitar in the first place. So I mean,
that's cool.
That's really cool.
Makes sense.
Some Guitar Hero executive just heard that as they like walk by and this podcast is playing in public, and they were like, "Fuck yeah,
hell yeah!"
Just made that guy's life,
dude. I mean, like that's essentially a huge pipeline for the younger generations, like. Well,
even for like music and tours, I saw Deathclock and Necrogoblicon and Dragon Force, and people were like, "Oh, it's the Guitar Hero tour," because Deathclock and Dragon Force were big on Guitar Hero for a while. Yeah, like, that's so crazy how all that kind of works out.
It's
like,
so
even
crazy.
Like what is it, Tony Hawk? All those music soundtracks, like those are all coming back with the reboots, and like those made a lot of bands famous, and like bands famous to the younger generations, I guess I should say. But,
oh yeah. For sure.
I think a lot of people got their start like the music that defined their generation for them was through Tony Hawk. And like, again, one of my favorite podcasts that I listen to, which is so funny as well, as I've mentioned before, it's called The Bunt. It's a bunch of Canadian guys that run a skateboarding podcast. And they every time they ask the questions like, where'd you grow up and how'd you get into skating? Anybody that's under 25 or 30 is like, I played Tony Hawk in about 99, and it was all over from there. Like, it's all I wanted to do. Yeah.
There you go.
And it's awesome. It's awesome how much these things that we just like, they influence our culture and they still stick with us today. I mean, that's kind of funny. But I mean, we talk about video games for a while. I know you're busy and you've been doing a lot of that stuff, but whenever we get somebody on there, I got to ask it then. You still play a bunch of games? We're both gamers ourselves.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Nice.
I play Fortnite every night, bro.
Let's go. So you're competitive sweaty?
I am. I'm really sweaty. But I'm not like the best of the sweats, but I still sweat when I play, so it's okay.
Fuck yeah. Well,
I try my best.
All right, top 3
zombies now.
Let's do it. Top 2 or 3 video games of all time for you.
Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is in there, obviously. Like that's where I was raised. Love Fortnite. I have spent way too much money on that game.
Yeah, that's fair.
The mark of a true gamer.
Dude, I just checked. I have 327 skins.
Damn.
Like, that means I probably spent like $3,000. That's
on some skins.
So stupid.
You don't gotta worry about that. Trust me.
No. And then I guess we'll throw in. Oh man. See, there's so many, but I'll go with Borderlands and Dead by Daylight tied.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
He's a huge.
Who do you play on Dead by Daylight? Who's your character?
Nia Karlsen, bro.
Okay.
Who else?
Okay, Nia.
I'm Karlsen. I'm Karlsen. Come on.
I guess I'm Jeff Johansson just because he's the only guy with a beard.
Oh, fair.
I'm like, it works.
Well, there's also Bill. No.
Yeah, Bill.
But he's old.
Bill hacks when he smokes, and it makes him really loud.
That's true.
When he's running, I'm like,
yeah.
I need a little stealth. I play with distortion on, so you can't see my aura half the time. I just want to hide around and be a little weirdo. So
Jeff
I haven't
Perk
played
is
that
OP.
forever though. What?
Jeff Perk's so OP, but that's why
the Jeff Perk is great. Yeah, every spooky season we pretty much play that for a couple weeks.
He drags me back in, but it's an excuse to play Leon Kennedy because that's all I care
he
about.
loves playing Leon. Hell yeah. What about Killer? You ever play Killer?
Not really, but Huntress is just I love the song, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, the hums are crazy.
For sure. I tried Chucky when that came out, and I was really happy with that. I thought it was fun, but
yeah.
Have not played Dead by Daylight since I played Did you ever do the casting of Frank Stone?
No, actually.
Oh my God, you really got to get that game. It is
interesting FMV kind of thing.
It's in the Dead by Daylight universe, and it kind of like ties in with some stuff. But and the entity is totally a thing in this world, kind of. But yeah, it's really fun. And it's the choose your own adventure style of like it's pretty much like what is it? Until Dawn, like that game.
Oh my God, dude! I played the Quarry. I love that game.
If you like those, you'd like the casting of Frank Stone. It's a weird name, but
I'm writing this down, dude.
Yeah, you'd like it. It's a watching a movie, choosing your own adventure. It's based in that like universe in that world. He streamed and played almost all of it. What would you say? It was like probably like how many hours? It's a shorter one.
It's like I don't even remember, man.
I think
between 10 and 20 hours though.
depending on how in depth you want to get.
There's a lot of different ways you can like do the game, which makes it fun, and which there's a lot of replayability to let you go back and kind of make new choices.
I love that.
I know it's super fun, but I they're trying to make more like Dead by Daylight world games that aren't just like hide from a slasher.
That makes me so happy.
So they got one new one that's coming out. I signed up for the beta testing. It's called Project T.
Oh my god!
And it's like
writing this down too.
So essentially, you're fighting against the entity and like monsters that it makes. So it's a lot more like Left 4 Dead kind of stuff.
Which would be fun.
Yeah.
Did you guys know? Did you guys know I'm in a video game? Like I voice act in a video game.
What video game?
It's called Crystalla, and it's like Assassin's Creed. It's like a Souls-like RPG, but it's with magic cats.
What?
Yeah, bro. It's awesome. Will Ramos voices in it too. What's his face from Signs of the Swarm? David Benitez, my friend Taylor Destroy. Dude, there's so many people in that game that are all like metal vocalists. They like made it a point to hire metal vocalists, and I'm literally, bro, I am like the main character. I'm the main girl cat.
What?
That's awesome.
How do you spell this? How do you spell Crystalla? I'm looking at this now.
Kristala.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, dude. They're coming to console this year too, so I'm like, let's go. I've been wanting to stream it, but my PC, even though it's brand new, doesn't have the capability to play Crystalla and stream at the same time. So
shit.
Yeah, dark fantasy RPG, so like click and move, cat-like warrior from a clan. Like, dude, this looks fucking sick.
Right?
How'd you get into this? Like, who was like, hey, come do this?
Dude, my friend Taylor Destroy, they asked her to do it, and I was like, oh my god, dude, that's so sick. I would love to do it. She was like, do you want me to ask for you? I was like, could you?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my god, of course. And so she did, and now we're both in a damn video game. It's so nuts.
You've been immortalized in history forever. Look
exactly.
at you.
And I'm also one of the bosses with Jessie Grace, Full Metal Jessie, if you guys know her, the one with the red hair.
Okay.
Dude, so we're like a boss together, and I haven't gotten up to the boss yet. It's killing me. I can't get past the first one. I'm like, this is so hard.
That's crazy.
Souls-like implies you're going to be stuck there for a while. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, no, those are popping off, and so it's right place, right time, dude. Like that's congrats. Like that's super cool. You're putting all of your eggs into many different baskets, as you should. That's a smart thing to do right now.
Thank you so much. I do try, I want to be diverse, and I think sometimes it's my weakness to try and be jack of all trades or do as many different things. But I'm like, you know what? YOLO, bro. That's what Suicide Silence taught me.
Yeah, man. Jack of all trades, master of none, whatever. Fuck them. If you're having fun and you're doing your life, that's the way I look at it. I'd rather be versed in as many things as I possibly can. And I think doing some voice acting, that'd be a lot of fun. We've only dabbled in it a little bit. You gotta reach out, put in a word, we'll do something. That'd be fun as hell.
Dude, for sure.
Well, we can go on for days about video games and everything else, but we do want to do the due diligence again before we let you go, because I know you got shit to do today, I'm sure. But Deadlands is the band, for those of all of you listeners that aren't out there. That's who we're interviewing today. If you've been living under a rock, they're absolutely exploding right now. You guys have some really cool, as I'm just looking through the track listing, it's a bunch of like tarot card style, like you're obviously crafting a very deliberate experience on how you're doing this. You have a theme, 7 tracks, you could probably listen to this and just do your laundry, do something, and put this on because you'll enjoy doing it. It keeps you pumped up. But I do want to ask before we let you go, and we ask a couple last questions. You guys are going essentially on a tour. It looks like you're going all over, from starting in New York, coming as far west as Albuquerque. So you're going coast to coast, Las Vegas. In our area, if anyone's listening, you're gonna be right down the road in Kansas City in August. So, or up in Chicago in the end of July. So anyone around here, if you're hearing me and you're paying attention to us, you should go catch them in either one of those venues out there. But you have a tour coming up. This is your first tour with this band?
Yes, this is our first support tour ever, and we are so excited.
Hell yeah, dude. That's going to be fucking so much fun.
Thanks, bro. I mean, listen, we have like these sickest bands for a first run. I mean, We have Girly, who is like, she's got more poppy roots, but it's gonna be so much fun. Her crowd looks like they're super into it, and I'm so excited. And then Scene Queen, of course, she's just a riot all around. Like I love her. She is a genius. I think she's hilarious, and I mean, she's just got bangers, and she's hilarious whenever she does it. So I love it.
It's just on top of the world right now. She's having like even someone who's there's only so much time in a day to listen to so much of everything, but even the way that I'm very aware of who Scene Queen is, and it's she's like 30 million plays on shit. She's absolutely on top of the world. So that's a perfect tour for you guys. It seems like that should be a lot of fucking fun.
Thank you, bro. I think so too. We're so ready. We're so excited. We've been waiting for this, and we are not going to disappoint. I'll tell you that much.
Hell yeah.
Before we let you go, we always just ask, I mean, it's a blatant, just big overlying question. Is there anything, especially to newer listeners that might not know who you are, is there anything you want to tell fans before we let you go?
I mean, I hope you like 7. You can get your tickets, deadlandsband.com. You can get merch, deadlandsmerch.com, and VIP over there too. But thank you guys for just tuning in. Thanks for listening to the show, and we hope you enjoy what's next to come. And yeah, I guess that's it.
Fuck yeah, dude. And
Awesome.
Kasey, if I ever see you on Black Ops 2, it's on site. I swear to God.
Bro.
I'm not gonna hesitate.
Nah, bro. Let's go.
Send over the gamer tags so I know.
Period.
Thanks for listening, guys. Keep it metal. Be good people. And don't ever try bidets. Just don't do it.
You should.